Is it time? Good afternoon. How is everybody?
Good.
It's time. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in. Hope everybody's doing well. I heard from Sarah today. She's doing well, and she couldn't join us tonight, but hopefully she'll be back with us soon. Rachel had surgery and had a setback, but she's doing much better as well. So prayers for both of them still. You know, Sarah lost Horace and Rachel had a knee replacement that didn't go well, but she says she's doing much better. So prayers for both of them. I see we've got Anna and Sheena on, but they don't have their cameras on. So specifically for Sheena and Anna, you have Rachel Brown in your class this semester. Now, remembering that Rachel was a readmit master student, and since we were off cycle, we don't have an add-on 603. I mean, we had her with y'all this semester. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we had her with y'all this semester. She just had to do the OMA, and so, but she also had to do the catch back up part of the contract to get back in on a readmit. Is she had to do the AppSell and AppTel. She uploaded all three today. I'm gonna go in and grade them here in a few minutes and make sure that that's okay. But I believe we're clear on Rachel. Anna had emailed me earlier about, or texted me earlier about her today. We do need to try to follow up and make sure that she does all of her, let me share my screen, all the things that she needs to do in TaskStream other than just her 3 evidences. And so share my screen. Okay.
We're also pushing her to go ahead and do skip 1, skip 2.
Right.
Well,
yeah, she needs to get them done. But as you can see, she has not done, she just a few minutes ago uploaded her AppSell, AppTel, and OMA, but she still has not done her competency analysis from 601 or her dispositions, nor has she done her School of Ed dispositions from this semester. So you need to get on her to do those. And I don't know where she is with her competency folio, but we won't worry about that. If we can get her dispositions out of her and get her a couple of tasks into the skip, that would be great. But I appreciate y'all working with her to get these 3 done. I know that's been.
Now, I'm a little worried about the AppSell and AppTel because she did not have me review them before she submitted them. So I'm a little worried about that because she's not a very strong writer. So I'm a little worried about that.
I'll grade them.
Okay.
I'll close one eye and kind of wave my hand in front of the other, but
Okay.
I'll do that myself, and we'll see what we've got, and I'll let you know if there's an issue there.
Okay.
She submitted some stuff. She submitted her skip 1 for review, and that's about as far as she's gotten. And then we're just waiting to hear back about the OMA, but I'll let her know that she needs to get her dispositions.
Okay.
Yeah, we might need to schedule a time with her. You know, last time she didn't show up when we scheduled time, but we probably need to do that before class or after class on Wednesday.
That'd be a good.
I'll try to email
idea.
her right now and tell her that she needs to plan on meeting with us Monday before class.
Yeah.
Monday or Wednesday?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Wednesday before class.
Yeah, that'd be good. Just need to follow through with her to make sure she fulfills her contract as a readmit. She's a fall 20, I believe. Yeah, I know, because I just pulled her up. She's a fall 20, so we need to, so she was out a semester. So we need to make sure that we follow up on that. As a reminder, especially for, this seems to only be happening with our add-on licensure. As a reminder, I see Robin's here and Kathy. Remind me in the spring. This is my fault. So y'all remind me, y'all are my warders, my minders, to get on the add-on licensure group in the spring, the new ones in 601. to not put their semester internship log in their DRF and submit it for final evaluation the first semester. Over half of the ones that we took in this fall have done that. I sent one back literally. Was late getting in this meeting to send one back. I don't know what it is that I told them. I reminded them I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. We're not having this problem with the master's people, but the add-on licensure people, as soon as they finish their first internship log, they want to submit it for evaluation for the whole program. I've told them not to do that, put it in their competency folio, but they're not listening. We're going to have to do that because I'm getting blowback on that. So remind me to remind them again. All right, so Rachel, following up, grading. If a student for internship has got their hours given but hadn't done their evidences, we can give them an incomplete. We really ought to just, if you've worked with them and they've got their hours, even if they haven't done their evidences, you can pass them in their internship. Let me say that again. If they got their 80 hours and you've worked with them, pass them. If all you got is the 80 hours, just give them, and you can still give them a pass. I prefer, but either way, you can give them a pass on the internship if they've got their 80 hours. If you haven't heard from them, give them an incomplete. Let me say that again. If they've not completed their evidence, you not worked with them, or you hadn't seen their hours, give them an incomplete. Don't fail them on their internship. That becomes an issue. But if you've seen it, if you've worked with them or you've seen their hours, give them a pass and move them on. Remember, interns just pass fail. Now on classes, try to give as many incompletes as you can. If they've done anything. Now we keep circling back to Robin's group and Jamal's, this one student today. I'm certain that those students were coming to video, but now they're claiming they weren't. I'm sure they were, but that's a different story. We're trying to clean up some of these, but going into next semester, we're going to have to be a little more hard-hearted. I know that the university keeps preaching compassion, but then they policy whip me at the end over it. If they don't show up, or if they haven't done EVA, or if they've not done the first assignment, we're going to no-show them. I don't care if they come to the video or not. And I'm quite sure that's the issue. They were coming to the video. We were trying to hold off on no-showing them, hoping they'd catch on. And a good many of them did. But they don't seem to understand that we probably saved 15 or 20, but they're worried about the one that wants their money back because they didn't attend now. They don't seem to understand that if you can either do compassion or you can do policy, but you can't do both. And then they want a policy with you at the end of the semester. They were begging you to give them all the grace you could early on, but now they want a policy with you in the end. Well, you know me, I give as good as I get. So don't ever wrestle with a pig. Pig just likes it and you get covered in mud. So I am the pig. Do not poke the bear, whatever fable analogy you want to use here, insert metaphor. So we're going to be less compassionate in the spring. And then when they whine and cry about all the students that we no-show that are out, then I'm going to remind them of that they policy whipped us at the end of the semester about compassion. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll work through that. That's okay.
Dale, this is Rod. To
Yeah.
go back on the internship log, and it may not ever happen again, but when they do look at their logs, make sure they've been signed, because one semester I had a site supervisor refused to sign because she knew that this person did not do that work. So make sure it's signed by their site supervisor. Yeah,
that's a great point, Rod. I got whipped over that one a few years ago in CMS with Diana Claros. The site supervisor claimed that they didn't do all those, and we ended up having to suspend her out of the program for a year and the whole deal. So that's a great point, Rod. I'm glad you reminded me of that, especially now with in and out of school, all that's going on. We better make sure those logs are signed. That is absolutely, because I don't want to get into that situation again where the university and the dean of the grads. Thank goodness we had the dean was Jeff Rogers back then. We don't have that grace now, and if we have one of these now, it'll get ugly.
and we were able to work with Diana and eventually get her through, but it got really ugly. So yeah, sign those logs. That's great. Now, here's the rule of thumb that I want you to observe. If your class meets on Monday or Tuesday nights, try to do your final grades on Wednesday. If your class meets on Wednesday or Thursday, try to do, Wednesday night, try to do your grades Thursday. And I don't think anybody meets on Thursday night. But if you do, get your grades, have your grades done the next day if you can. It's going to get busy starting Thursday with the pinning ceremony, and again with the undergraduates, and then planning on Friday. And then we're doing a double on Saturday. We're doing the early graduation in the gym, and then we're leaving there and we're going over and we're going to have a ceremony for the College of Ed over at Tucker. Reception, we're going to do also the unveiling of the plaque for the College of Ed. It's going to be a real busy time here right at the end. So if you can get your grades in, I know they're saying final grades aren't due till Saturday, but please don't do that. Please try to get them in at least a day after your class is over, because of all the issues that we have with them not going in, and Luann getting in touch with me, and we're out trying to do all these different activities. It's a very busy time. I wish that we weren't trying to do everything at once. And they're going to hood master students at the College of Ed deal. That's going to be new. We're going to hood them during that, and we're going to have the add-ons get to participate in that program. They don't have to come in regalia, but they get to cross the stage and have their name called. So that's going to be great. We finally got that done. And I don't know if y'all know this, but we're working on a plan right now, again, that our add-on licensure students will get a second master's degree from us. We're working on that right now. And so instead of getting the certificate from Jostens, they would get another diploma. So we're working on that. We think that'll be a good marketing tool, maybe for South Carolina, who get paid for that. And so we'll see how that goes. They've already got one master's degree. I don't know if having another one from us will matter or not, but we'll see how that goes. But we're working on that. But in the interim, our add-ons are getting that recognized officially for the first time. So they get to walk across the stage at Tucker. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to be good for them. The two people that I picked, talked to Anita and Steve. Kelsey Gibson is going to represent our add-on licensure. She was one of my doctoral add-ons, but the reason why I like Kelsey, and she'll represent us well, but she'll already have her regalia as an add-on, because she's getting her doctorate in EDCI at the same time. She's a twofer, and so she'll already have her regalia on. So she'll represent our add-ons. And then I've asked Linnell Perry, I had on there that he was coming, but I hadn't heard back from him. So I got to follow up with him again tomorrow, but we may have to pull somebody else if I don't hear from Linnell. But those are the two that I picked. I was hoping to get Eric Figueres, but he's not driving all the way from Florence. So we've got those two, but Eric would have been a good one as well. But we got a lot of worthy folks but that's for the photo op for the unveiling of the new plaque that's going to go on the wall that says College of Education rather than School of Education. But we will have that ceremony. So the president will be there at ours for the unveiling of that. So that's pretty much it. Just work on your grades, all the grace that you can give in terms of incompletes. Don't fail anybody unless you let me know. And I think, and our one, Rachel, I think we followed up with her. I think we're good on that. I don't think we have any more that are an issue. I may not be right, but Rod, thank you again. That's most timely. Check those logs and make sure that we're not going to have an issue with the supervisor saying they didn't do those things when it comes time at the end to sign off on them. Yeah, we want to head that off. And you're right. If my doctoral students this semester are any indication, and I talked with Danny today about the add-ons, it's been really hard to get folks to turn their work in and do the right thing this semester. It's been by far the hardest. I'm wondering if it's not that way at their jobs as well. And if that's the case, there may be blowback on, I don't think they did these activities. So we just need to make sure we check on those things, that we've done the right thing. Anybody else have
Lamb?
anything?
Yeah, Dr. Lamb, Danny and I spoke about 5 o'clock,
Yeah,
and we think we're going to be able to get everybody through in our
yeah,
in
he
our
was
section.
telling me that, and I appreciate that. I'm telling you what an ordeal it's been to get them all through this time. I'm telling you, I know it. Pain is nothing like birthing, but it's been like birthing babies. I think I've never birthed one, but I've had my spine worked on that, and supposedly that's a rough equivalent. But it's been like birthing babies this semester, trying to get the work out of them. I swear, I've never had. One of my doctorals turned in. We had 20 assignments in her section this semester. She didn't have any in as of last Tuesday at the last class. She turned 16 in on Wednesday or Thursday. 16 of her assignments. It's just been that way all semester, trying to get them to pace and stay up. And, you know, it's hard to get work revision on work that's less than standard if they don't turn it in. And then you have to grade it all at one time. And it's just been awful. It has been awful. By far our worst semester in terms of getting students. Now, I didn't have a problem with them coming to class. I mean, they showed up and smiled and, you know, and did that. They just didn't do any work. And so, unfortunately for Sheena and for Anna, they know what happens if you show up at my case studies unprepared. It gets really ugly. And so, yeah, I roasted some. They may be scarred for life. Those nice EDCI ladies that aren't used to anybody having critical conversations, or as Ron Thompson used to say, come to Jesus meetings with them. They're not used to that. I had to have several of those this semester. It did not go well for them. But I don't know what else to do. But I said all that to say this. I applaud you in your efforts. I know it's been tough, what everybody's gone through. Personal things. I want to thank on a personal note both Phyllis and Anna for supervising student teachers. I know that's been an ordeal as well. They're going to sign back on for 2 English ones in there, 3 in the spring. That'll be great. We've got a lot of different work. I'm going to be looking for somebody. Laws and I are going to retire from working in the EDCI business, and we're going to be looking for a pair to work with them next fall. We've been working for them 3 years, and we made a 3-year commitment and said we'll do this to get this thing up and going. And that contract has expired, and so he and I have agreed that we'd prefer not to do that much work going forward. So we're going to be looking for that. But as you know, everybody wants MELS, folks, because y'all know how to work. You know, you come online, you know how to use platforms, technology, you know, task stream, Blackboard. And you're dependable, you know what you're doing. And so there's a lot of different work, and I applaud you. Also, on a personal note, I want to thank Steve and Anita. I get to work with them, and they don't bother me, and I like that. And I try not to bother them, but we were laughing. We make a pretty good trio because everybody knows what they do and just go do it. So it's a lot of fun working with them, you know, on campus, because they don't need me to tell them what to do every day, and so that suits me real well. And you folks the same way. I don't have to tell you what to do every day. You know your job is to keep up, and I appreciate that. A thank you to Jackie. You know, that Gaston group, I know that they were tough. She had to double up on classes. You know, she had to do 2 hours classes on Tuesday nights to get them through. Her and Lisa got them through, and I helped a little bit with Lisa, and they've done a great job. That Gaston group, there's 14 of them, and they turned out to be very strong in terms of their work. They were good, but it's because Jackie really spent the time with them. She doubled up, did 2 hours on Tuesday night. That was great. I appreciate all of you who made visits. Rod, Steve for grading, Mark for grading. Mark's done a great job with feedback. The students really appreciated that. Barbara and Joey and Jeff with the master students. I feel bad, but y'all did such a great job. I never had any issues with them the whole semester, never, not a peep. And the students, I watched their work was on time. It's good. I've graded 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 of them, and they've been really good. The master students seem to be, they didn't seem to be near as much drama as the add-ons this semester, the new ones. they just took the bit and ran, even the Gaston group. I was worried that there'd be trouble. The master students did really well this semester. The add-ons made up for it by being whiny and complaining the whole semester. But the add-ons did great. They did great. And our upper level classes did great. Hannah and Sheena's class, I mean, all of them, it was just that 601 add-on group that just complained from the first day to the last day and were just sorry. I hate to say it, their behavior was just not good. But everybody else was pretty good. My doctoral students were awful. They had every excuse in the world. But the master students, you know, they were the strength of our program this fall. I'm appreciative of that. They just came in, didn't know any better, and just worked right on. And so a special thank you to Danny and Kathy and Robin and Jamal, because I know that group was just awful. I mean, it was just like pulling teeth with them all semester. Sometimes you get a group like that, you know, we used to say in the school business, you know, they must have ate lead paint chips in the crib, because you get a group every once in a while, you know, just a bunch of booger eaters. That's just what happens. It's the way the school business is. And it just hit on our beginning add-ons this fall. It was just a struggle every day. Something administratively every day. So I appreciate all that you've done this semester. And so I don't have anything else. Don't want to belabor the point. I could probably call 1,000 other people for the great things that they've done. I appreciate what you do for me personally and what you do for our students. It's all about them. It's the way it's supposed to be. It's about adding value to their lives. It's about them you know, self-actualize and achieve their goals. It's about being a servant leader. It's about us serving them, and they in turn go out and serve the students, the communities that they live in. And I'm appreciative of that. And so back to the original motto at the vision at Gardner Webb, Pro Deo et Humanitate, for, you know, service for God and humanity. And so I think we have achieved that this semester, and I'm appreciative of that. The numbers for the spring looks like probably 3 add-ons and 1 master's in the spring. We've got some other things in the pot cooking as well. So our numbers are they're not disastrous. They're not good, but they're not disastrous. Everybody else's are disastrous, but ours look fairly strong. But again, it's all legacies. They're tied to other students and schools where we've had folks in there. It's basically word of mouth that is bringing them in the spring. And so I think we'll probably have 3, you know, if we have a good next 2 weeks or 3, we might have 4, but we'll definitely have 3 add-ons and a master's, and you know, outside chance of having 4 and a master's. But you know, 3 and a master's, 4 classes in the spring will be just, I mean, really, that's really good.
Dale, do you think the CC ones will be virtual again, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Y'all want to go back to making visits?
Well, some of them don't. I don't mind it, but I'm just one of them. I'll do whatever you want to tell us to do.
Well, the word came out yesterday that the restrictions will stay in place, and my understanding right now is that we won't really have that option again in the spring. They said that they would revisit on March 1st. Was that not what I heard yesterday? You know, they would give a weekly update on North Carolina numbers. And so the restrictions have tightened some, and they will not be revisited until March 1st. So that means that we won't really have an option, even if we wanted to.
My only thing about visiting, it gives you an idea of their surroundings. And so therefore it gives you an idea of how they can teach and the way they teach, you know, because I just like visiting. I like to see different campuses.
I do too. I mean, I think that's a great, you know, I've promised to go to Cherryville to visit, you know, one of my ones that's in the Gaston, go see Matt Reichert. He was my student at Ashbrook a million years ago. I want to go see them, but you know, I don't want Matt to get in trouble to let me in when really they're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't want to put people out over that. But yeah, I agree. It's great to make the visits. I believe in them 1,000%. you know, I don't want to be in a situation where we get people in trouble or get ourselves in trouble. But yeah, I'm not sure that, I'm almost certain that eventually Gardner Webb will say no more face-to-face visits. I've been waiting on that just any minute, but we'll see how that goes. But no, the plan right now, since the restrictions were not lifted, is we'll be virtual with CC1s in the spring until things change. And so we'll see the numbers. All right, anybody else have anything for the good of the group? Oh Lord, my time's up.
Dale, you
Again,
gotta finish it out. You gotta finish it out your classical way. We're waiting for that.
what do you want me to do, Steve?
You know what Santa always says when we close out a meeting?
Ho, ho, ho. I'm reviewing my list here. I don't have anything else. What does Santa need to do?
You did it. You ho-ho-ho'd us.
All right. All right. I was gonna save that then. All right, everybody have a Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'll see you again soon. Good night.